Welcome to Fleet Scrap. Overview. This video will give a quick rundown on details of the objectives, cards, and dice, so as to better understand the dynamics. The primary objective of Fleet Scrap is to build a fleet of ships from the cards available and scrap the fleets of your opponents. Operation cards are used to enhance gameplay by strengthening your own fleet, weakening an opponent's fleet, and other utilities that may swing the battle to your favor. The dice are used to determine how many ships may be deployed to your fleet each round, as well as activating ship tactics to give you an edge. Deployment is the first of 3 phases in a given round. This is when the players lay down ship cards to form their fleet. At the start of each round, all players roll for deployment to find out how many defense points worth of ships may be put into play. Ships already in play do not count toward the deployment value. For the first round, all players deploy with a value of 6, and any operation played will reference the same value. Some tactics and deployment operations may affect a player's or opponent's deployment. These will be discussed in detail in other videos. During the second phase, known as salvo, 2 dice are rolled for a chance to activate tactics. The value of the dice are not added to the salvo total. They merely indicate what ship special features come into play that round. A single die result will activate all ship tactics and fleet that match that value. Rolling doubles allows the player to either draw a card or activate one ship's tactics. Ship tactics that match the doubles are activated along with the chosen ship. By example, if player 1 above rolled double 3s, the gunboat's assault tactic would be activated because a 3 was rolled, and the player chooses to activate the fighter's lethal tactic because doubles were rolled. Once tactics are decided, the attack value for all ships and fleet are added to get the salvo total. Include any bonuses from activated tactics. To apply salvo damage to an opponent's fleet, you subtract their salvo from your own. The difference determines how many defense points of opponent ships you can scrap. The base salvo for player 2 is 8, while player 1's is 6. Therefore, player 2 will scrap 2 defense worth of ships in player 1's fleet. Scrapping a ship is an all-or-nothing value. A ship cannot take partial damage. Any ship that is scrapped gets slid forward but is still in play until the end of the round. Players with a lower salvo total cannot do salvo damage but are allowed to apply raid damage, which amounts to 1 point per ship and fleet. Therefore, player 1 will scrap up to 3 defense worth of ships in player 2's fleet. The player with the highest salvo has advantage. If multiple players wish to use a salvo operation card, the player with advantage plays first, then go clockwise. Players may choose to apply raid damage instead of salvo damage during the rare times when raid would be more effective. Operations, of course, may be played to further sway the effects of salvo. Keep in mind that only one operation may be played by each player per phase. During the last phase, known as conclusion, any operation cards players might like to use are played out first. Afterward, all scrapped ships are given to the player who scrapped them. The scrapped ships become the scrap piles each player keeps. The first player to reach 30 scrap in their pile wins the game. After scrap and operations have been resolved, both players draw to a full hand of 3 ships and 3 operations. After drawing cards, a player may choose to discard one in order to draw another of the same type of card. Next, let's look at the ship card layout. There are 4 factions a ship can belong to. Each faction has certain features and tactics. The faction is listed under the name of the ship and is also represented by the symbol in the top left corner. Under the faction symbol is a targeting reticle. The number on it is the attack value of that ship. The green shield under that is the defense value of the ship. The white space in the lower half of the card is where the ship's tactics are listed. Tactics are ship features that have a chance of affecting gameplay. The number at the bottom is the scrap value of the ship. This number always matches the defense value of the ship and is displayed here for ease of reference when forming your scrap pile. The 4 factions are Military, Mercenary, Cyborg, and Ranger. The Military has the most cards in the deck and is the only faction that uses the squadron tactic, though only a few of their ships have it. The Mercenary faction is able to ignore deployment blockades and better manage ship availability, even refitting small ships from the scrap pile. The Cyborg faction has access to the subterfuge tactic, which reduces one opponent's salvo total. The Ranger faction has access to the Bulwark tactic. Always ready to defend the fleet, they have reduced deployment requirement. During the salvo phase, 2 dice are rolled for tactics. If either die matches a tactic, its features are activated that round. Some tactics are passive, meaning they apply only when their descriptions dictate. Each faction includes a capital ship with a unique tactic shown in the colored band just under the image. Now let's look at the operation card layout. The title of the operation is located in the star field of the card, but also in the top left, making it easy to identify while in hand. Each operation can only be played during one of the 3 phases of a round. The phase is shown at the bottom and the top left of the card. The white area details the effects and conditions of the operation. Only one operation may be played during each phase of a round, so choose carefully. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about Fleet Scrap, check out the other videos available on this channel and see links in the description below.